Hey guys, Barry Wheeler here again, doing a real estate blog. A lot's happened since last week. Fantastic response, so thank you very, very much. A couple of physical changes too. So if you missed the video, we raised a little bit of money over the last couple of months for World's Greatest Shave. So Kia, thank you very, very much once again for donating your time to do this one for me. Very, very nice of you. Don't know whether it suits me. Let me know what you think, but obviously a bit of a change from last week. So look, without delaying you too long, as I mentioned, huge response to last week and a few tips and hints about moving forward. But overwhelmingly, you're all very positive around keeping this going. So thank you very, very much, and we'll keep that going well indefinitely, really, until we run out of topics or until you get sick of me. So tonight I wanted to have a bit more of a chat about things to look for when trying to secure your first home. Go buying when you're buying your first home. Thank you very, very much to my man Hattie, who asked me to have a bit of a chat about this. Hattie down at the Blue Strawberry down there on Sandy Bay Beach. If you need a good feed or a coffee, go down and see the guys down there. But young Hattie's looking for his first home, dipping his toe into the market for the first time, and just wants a few hints and tips about what he should be looking for and things like that. And I'm sure there's many, many more of you out there that would like to do the same. So I started making a few notes throughout the week, and it ended up being a bit of an essay. So if it starts going too long, what I might do is break this down into two separate posts. I don't want you guys getting bored, of course. Okay, so look, what we're going to be doing, just going through a checklist again, have a bit of a chat about it. If you've got any questions, please feel free to write your comments or ask me any questions, and I'll see if I can answer them on the spot, or just a shout out to say good day. Yeah, thanks Paul. Hair tips, number one, the whole way, buddy. But look, we'll get straight into it. One of the big tips that I found when I was looking for my home, and ones that I've come across for other people, is find out what your non-negotiables are, what you're willing to compromise on, and what you're not. A lot of people are going out into the marketplace and maybe making an emotional decision before they're not really sure what they're looking for. Is location something that you're willing to look at? Is a backyard? Is it a bedroom? Is it a bathroom? Is it schools? Like what are you willing to compromise on? Because that'll make your choices a lot easier when you go in and start researching. So get that very, very clear. Have a chat to anyone else that's going in with you, of course, your significant other or whatever it might be. Make sure you're on the same page, workshop it, put it on a bit of paper. Just make sure you're all ready to go so that you know where you're going to sit. Okay. Another big one is don't commit before you're ready. I've spoken to a few first home buyers over the last few months where they've come in and we've had a bit of a chat about the price they'll pay, and more to the point, what their weekly or fortnightly, monthly repayments are going to be on their home loan, and they're surprised sometimes to realise that it's actually going to cost them an extra $300, $400, $500 per month as opposed to what they're renting. Now, make sure that you're absolutely ready for that commitment before you go out and start looking. The last thing you want to do, and I touch on this in a few of the points as we go along, the last thing you want is to be under financial stress whilst in your first home. Okay, so just make sure you don't commit to anything before you're ready. Equity in your home, your first home, can save you thousands. Okay, so if you are a bit of a handyman or woman, as the case may be, and you're happy to do a little bit of work yourself, jump in there, have a look at the plan, see what's feasible, see what's not, and start going straight away. And you'll very quickly realise that, one, you can save quite a bit of money doing the work yourself, but if you do things right and buy the book, you can actually make a little bit of money in equity in your home. And then if you're looking at expanding your investment portfolios or looking for your second home, that equity can really work for you. So have a look at that as well. The other side of that is also around your deposit. Now, a lot of the banks will do different things around the deposits that you need or require to move forward. But the rule is that the more the better, really. I had a customer a long time ago who decided they had originally come up with a 20% deposit, which was significant, and that would have put them in a really good position, but they found a bank that would lend them closer to the 100% of the value, so they decided to do that and invest some in the stock market. I'm not here to advise you what you should and shouldn't do, but in that case, stock market took a little bit of a hit, and properties didn't. So if they'd had that money sitting in their property, they not only would have saved on a few fees and charges through the bank and different insurances and things which I won't get into, but they also would have saved from losing a little bit of money as well. So just have a look at all your options, but a good down payment is never a bad investment. Okay. The next one, and I touched on it earlier, schools. School districts and local schools do affect the home value. So whether you have kids or not, have a look at the local school district, what facilities and shopping and things like that are around your home, because it will affect the value of your home, even if you're not planning on having kids at any stage in the future. Just while I'm at it, if you're watching this, please feel free to hit the share button and let some other people join in. If you hit the share and let your friends and family know we're here, I can help them out as well. So I'll keep going. Another good thing to do is put some money aside. Don't spend every dollar you have or that you've qualified for with the bank on your first home, because inevitably there's going to be some home improvements or things like that, some landscaping, which I'll touch on in a little bit, that you might want to do in your first few months or even the first year. And if you've spent right up to what you've qualified for with the bank, you leave yourself very little room to do those things, or you find yourself in a position that, again, financial stress that you don't want to be in your first home. What are we up to? I think we're about up to 8 or 9. So the next one would be, during your inspections, dig a little bit deeper. Have a look for cracks and holes in ceilings and peeling paintwork and water damage and things like that, and ask questions. Again, one of the big things we find is some people that not necessarily buying but are selling, and they bought the house on the assumption that things were all fantastic. They noticed a little bit of water damage in the roof or a crack in the wall or something like that, but didn't think too much of it and didn't ask any questions, and those problems, very, very small problems, can turn into larger problems further down the track and cost you quite a bit of money. So make sure that you take note of things like that, ask questions, and as I said last week, if you've got an opportunity to take a friend or builder with you, then do that, and that might help and save you a little bit of money. On that sense, and inspections and things like that, just because you're not, everything doesn't come up fantastic on an inspection, or you've got a few questions that might mean spending a little bit of money, that doesn't mean that the deal has to come off the table. You can keep negotiating. So we'll use the water damage in the roof example that I used a few moments ago. If that turns out to be a leak in the roof, use that to your advantage when negotiating, bearing in mind in this market you want to be careful, because there's going to be people that will still pay top dollar for that just to secure a home, because it's so hot at the moment. How are we going there? We're about 10 minutes in. We'll go a couple more and then I might leave you to it, and we might split this up. I think I'm only about halfway through. Have a look at when you are buying. Again, make sure you know what you've made your commitments and things like that, but your investment in your first property can be both financial and personal. Okay, so make sure again that you're ready both emotionally and financially to make this purchase and make this commitment, and make sure that everybody involved is on board. Sometimes we have found that babies come along, changes of jobs, or greater aspirations like holidays and things like that can affect how everything works, and again can put you under a bit of stress, which is not what you want at that point in time. I might leave it there, and I might put one midweek just to finish off that list, because as I said, I have made a fairly long list here. But if you've got any questions leading up to it, maybe, look, we might put one on Tuesday evening. If you've got any questions leading up to that, or anything else that you'd like me to address in that point, I'm conscious that I don't want you guys hanging on for too long, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll put up another event for Tuesday evening, and we'll finish off the rest of these notes. And until then, feel free to share it around and let people know what we're doing, and let me know if I can help anything further. Thanks heaps for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch up next Tuesday evening. See ya.